is 5:35. I'm gonna get started. I see all familiar faces here. So before we get started, does anyone have any injuries or sorenesses that I should be aware of? No, feeling good today? All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and mute you guys. Now we're gonna talk through the workout that we're gonna do, and then we're gonna get into it. So as always, we're gonna warm up and practice our exercises. We're gonna go through a lunge series for our standing athletes, and then a push and pull series for seated athletes. And we're gonna pepper in a bunch of planks and bridges as well into this workout. All right, so you're gonna want a moderate to heavy weight if you plan on loading your lunges today. And then in the case of our seated athletes, you're gonna want a moderate to heavy weight for the shoulder presses and the single arm rows. All right, and then I'll be going through some variations, progressions of the planks as well, in case you need those to help stabilize you. All righty, so let's get into the thick of things. We're gonna start with our warm up. Start seated if you're gonna be doing this workout primarily in sitting, and start standing if you're gonna be primarily in standing. Oh, one other question. I'm gonna unmute you guys for a quick second. Does anyone have any issues getting to the ground today? Is anyone going to be exclusively in a chair for their workout? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going to be in the chair. So don't worry. Everything that we're
This to outside.
What was that, Pavel?
Should I be in the chair or should I not?
You're going to be in between. You can test out the different variations. So I'll make sure to go through seated and non-seated variations. And so that's where you can play around with it to find the variation that works best for you.
I'm going to be doing the same thing that he's doing, so.
Yeah, play around with it. And then
it turns out it wasn't her, turns out.
Different Shelby.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so let's get started with our warm-up. Start in your chair. We're going to start by loosening up your neck a little bit. Start by gently tilting your head up and bring your chin down to your chest, looking up and tilting your chin down to your chest, going back and forth. And working on getting that stretch in the front of your neck, and then tilting the chin down, and then getting a stretch in the back of your neck, back and forth. Good. Add a gentle side bend, side to side. Focus on a nice relaxed breathing pattern. Gently go to the end of your range of motion. Don't crank on it, but gently touch as far the end point of your neck range of motion. Work on getting that easeful stretch. Add in a little bit of a neck circle, rolling the head around in one direction, going from one shoulder around, looking up the ceiling to the other shoulder, looking down, going around in this circle. Good, and then reverse it around the other way. If you get some little cracks and pops, those might feel good. If you don't get cracks and pops, don't worry about it. Focus in on a nice steady breath. And now let's bring your arms by your side. Roll your shoulders up the front of your body towards your ears. See if you can get your shoulders to touch your ears, and then roll your shoulders down the back of your rib cage. Bring them down as low as you can, and then continue that roll up the front of your body. Try to bring your shoulders up to your ears, roll them to the back of your rib cage, and then slide your shoulder blade down the rib cage. Continue with that circular motion. Focus in on your breath. Nice inhale on the way up, and then exhale as you lower your arms down. Another one like that. Inhale, Exhale, arms down, and then reverse. Inhale up. Exhale, roll the shoulders down the front of your body. Inhale, shoulder blade rides up the back of your rib cage. Roll the shoulders to the front and then down. And then continue with that circular pattern. There we go. Alrighty. Next thing here. Let's start by moving our arms back and forth. We're going to raise one arm up to the front and then lift the other arm back behind you. Back and forth, alternating the lifting arm if we're seated, just like so. Kind of like if you're doing a really goofy walk. Really exaggerating your arm swing. But you're keeping your arms straight. Work on opening up the front of your body with each swing. Good. Seated athletes, continue with the swing. Standing athletes, you can use a little bit of a hand support and then swing one leg back and forth. Stay standing upright as best as possible. If you need a little bit more balance support, you can just bring a chair in front of you. Just don't kick your chair. Bring your legs straight to the side. Seated athletes, bring your arms out to the side like so. Crisscross your arms at the top and then crisscross them at the bottom. Good. Standing athletes, switch sides. Swing your legs back and forth. If you don't have a huge amount of hip range of motion, that is okay. Just do whatever you have available to you. You want to hit your end ranges and then back out of them. Hit the end ranges and then back out of them. Good. Seated athletes. We're going to do some arm circles. Bring your arms up and around, stretching wide as far as you can. And then come around the front, stretching up wide as far as you can. Just like so. Standing athletes, you're going to take your leg swings and we're going to go side to side. So if you're holding onto a chair, you're going to take your leg, bring it out to the side, and then bring it across your body, like so. There you go. Big pendulum movement. Try to keep your chest square as you're doing this. So the motion is coming primarily from your hip. If your balance is pretty darn good, you can take your arms off your sturdy surface and challenge your balance a little bit. Your arms will naturally swing in the opposite direction of your leg. Good. Switch sides. Seated athletes. You're reaching your arms up to the front like this. Now reverse your arm circle. Coming around the other way. There we go. Make sure you alternate the crisscross of your arms as you come to the front. Reaching forward as you come around. Try to really exaggerate the movements with everyone here. You want to try to get into those end ranges. Good. Now, standing athletes pause, seated athletes pause. We're going to go into our jumping jacks. Out to the side, feet apart, then together with a little hop. If your balance is suspect, you can just bring your arms up and slam them down, up and slam them down, up, slam them down. It's like so. Seated athletes, same thing. Bring your arms up, slam them down, up, and slam them down. Keep it going. Keep breathing. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Split jacks. Bring your arms across horizontally, crisscrossing, alternating the top arm, add a little hop, switching your feet in a little stagger stance. If your balance is a little bit shaky, you can just do little back slappers, crisscrossing the arms, in standing or in seated. Good, all right. Shake out your shoulders a little bit, shake out your neck. How are people feeling?
Yeah.
Good.
All right, heart rate's up a little bit.
Yep.
All right, objective completed. So let's go into our practice rounds. Gonna meet you guys for a little bit here again. All right, first exercise is going to be our side plus curtsy lunge. So we've done this combination before. For our standing athletes, you can do this with a little bit of chair support or without, or with some hand support or without. So we're going to start with chair support and with hand support here. So you would start standing here, you would step to the side, lunge down to the chair, come up, curtsy, step behind yourself, lunge down, touch your butt to the chair, come around, and then you would switch. Step to the side, lunge down to the chair, and up, curtsy step around, and then back up. Then you would alternate. Stepping out to the side, lunge down, curtsy step around the back, touch your butt to the chair, stepping out to the side, lunge down, and up, curtsy step around the back, up. And then you can get rid of the chair if you feel a little bit more confident. And you can make this a little bit more flowy now. So you'll be up top here, stepping to the side for the side lunge, coming over, and then directly, immediately into that curtsy lunge, going back and forth. Side, curtsy, side, curtsy. Just like so. And then we would switch sides. Side, curtsy, side, curtsy. All right, and if your balance is really good, you can do this without hand support. Stepping to the side, curtsy stepping around. Back and forth. All right, make sure you switch sides, practicing each side, make sure that you feel balanced. And then if you feel really awesome, you can add a weighted backpack to the mix. Stepping to the side, curtsy stepping around. Make sure you test both sides. We're gonna do one side at a time for this. So you're gonna be doing about 30 seconds on each side. All right, so for our seated athletes, we're gonna be doing a shoulder to shoulder press. So what that means is you're gonna be taking a backpack. You're gonna hold it up on your shoulder, like so, and then you're gonna press it over your head to the other side. Just like so, from shoulder to shoulder. That's the shoulder to shoulder press. And we're going constant movement here. All right, good. Go ahead and practice the shoulder shoulder press. If that's a little bit too much for you, you can simply just work on pushing your hands from one side to the other. Yeah, if you have one side that maybe isn't working so well for you, you can just use one side to do the bulk of the movement. But try to get your other arm as involved as possible. Okay. I see everyone's been practicing. You found your progressions. Any questions? No, we're all good? All right, solid. So let's go on to the next one, the side plank. So for our standing athletes and people who feel comfortable getting down to the ground, you can just get down onto the floor, and then progressions here from the floor, our knees on the ground, and then coming up. We're gonna hold here for 30 seconds and then switch sides. If that's too easy for you, you can come into a full plank. And if you're feeling really beast, pick up one leg, just like so. Good. We're gonna hold that for 30 seconds on each side. If this is still a little bit problematic for you being on the ground, what you can do is add an elevated surface. So from here, we would be on your knees, doing a side plank this way. And then progressions to make it a little bit harder, we're going into a full plank variation. And then to make that harder, you would then go to the ground. What you're doing is you're changing your orientation to gravity to make gravity make you work harder. All right? If you're gonna be doing this completely in the chair, you might want something close by, like a table, desk, a high stool. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna lean over onto that surface, and you try to lean as far out into your back, as far as you can balance. So if this is too close, bring your arm further out, and reach out as far as you can, and then this will start to challenge your obliques here. And the further out you reach, the more it's gonna challenge you in that plank position. All right? Make sure you practice both sides. Good. Did everyone get a chance to practice the side planks? Good?
I have a question.
Yeah.
So I can get on the ground and kind of get in the position, but I can't lift my hips up to do the plank. Is there something else on the ground I could do that would be similar?
So you could simply just have your hips on the ground, but if you feel like that's not really challenging you, good question. I forgot this progression. So what you can do, take your weighted backpack, and then what you're going to do is you're going to get on top of the backpack with your belly, and then you scoot forward as far as you can, and from there you're using what's called a cantilever, and then the further out you are, the more it's going to challenge your abdominals.
Okay.
The closer in you are, the less it's going to challenge your abdominals.
Okay.
Practice that. See if that works for you.
Okay.
And I have a question about the side plank. How do I not hurt my shoulder or use my shoulder the wrong way?
You will be using your shoulder to some extent to balance yourself here. If practicing the side planks was hurting your shoulder, one thing you can do is take your other hand and put it on the ground. So that would look like this. So say I'm in this side plank position, I'm up here. Maybe this doesn't feel so great on my shoulder. I can take my other hand, put it on the ground, and that can offload my shoulder. Try to keep the kickstand arm as close to your body as you can. The more you start to put weight onto it like this and you start to roll over, it starts to take away from the side plank stimulation here. All right, does that make sense?
So the more you put your weight over there, it works the abs less?
Yeah, if you start to roll your whole body over, it's going to work your abs less. But you can also try the elevated versions of the plank. That will take a load off your shoulder as well.
Okay, thank you.
Amy, how did that cantilever work?
Yeah, that works.
Okay.
I'll try that. Yeah, thank you.
All righty, let's get back to our lunge series and pull series here. So the next exercise on cue is the front and back lunge. So for standing athletes, we can do this in standing with a little bit of hand support, stepping forward into the front lunge, and then back into the back lunge. Front and back. So you can have a little bit of a hand support here, going back and forth. And then if you feel good with your balance, take away the hand support, going back and forth. And then you can add a little bit of load to it as well. Make sure you practice both sides. Stepping forward, stepping back. One other variation here, if you're feeling like your balance is a little bit challenged on this one too much, what you can do instead of stepping is slide your foot forward, slide your foot back, slide your foot back, slide your foot forward. That's another progression you can do. That way you maintain more points of contact on the floor to help with balance. All right, for seated athletes, we're going to do a single arm rows. So we do this one all the time. Oh, I'm demonstrating for standing athletes. I got to do this for seated. All right, sit forward, lean forward, pull up to your hip, just like so. Back and forth. So normally I pick exercises that are fairly analogous to each other. I chose not to do an analogous substitution for this one, mostly because I want to give you a combination of exercise that helps balance out your shoulders instead of doing stuff that will build up the front too much. So we want to make sure we're working all sides. That's why we have the row in place of another pressing variation for our seated athletes. Good, practice both sides. All right, everyone practice their variations? Feel good about them? All right, let's keep going. We're gonna go into a front plank with a shoulder tap next. All right, so for front plank variations, if you're on the ground, you can start on your forearms, and then you can start here just propped up on your belly, and then work on tapping your shoulder, and back down. Tap your shoulder, and back down. And try to do this under control. Try to avoid just kind of moving haphazardly like this. You want to be able to actually hold yourself there for a brief second, and then tap. Hold, and tap, hold, and tap. The next progression would then be going with your hips elevated, so on your knees, hold, tap, and then from there, feet off the ground, hold, tap, hold, tap. If you have one arm that isn't moving for you, you can just work one side, work on trying to lean over to one side, get the arm off the ground, balance on one arm as best as possible. And then other progressions of this would be, again, elevating yourself off the ground. So coming from here, hold, tap, hold, tap, hold, tap, hold, tap, and then hold, tap, hold, tap. Progressively getting a little bit more challenging that way. All right. For our seated athletes, if you're still in the chair, what you would do is now you're going to lean forward onto a surface in front of you, and this is going to start to turn into your plank. You're going to prop yourself up off of the surface, hold, tap, hold, tap. And the key is you want to try to put yourself in a position where you're just starting to get to the edge of your balance, but don't fall out of your chair. That's bad. So if that's too easy for you, then you sit a little further back, challenge your balance some more, hold, tap, hold, tap. You continue to challenge yourself, hold, tap, just like so. All right. And considering Amy's question earlier, you can also add the cantilever variation to this. So you can come here, have your backpack, prop your hips up on top of the backpack, and then the further the backpack is down your body, the harder it's going to be to do your hold taps. The further up your body, closer to your torso, the easier it's going to be. So that's where you can play around with how hard you can make it on yourself to stimulate your abdominals. Okay. All right, very good. Did everyone get a chance to practice their plank variations? All right.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So when we do the hold tap for the people that are when we do the hold tap, are we coming up into push-up position while we're doing it?
Oh no, stay on your forearm.
So here?
All right. Yeah, but you pick your arm off the ground.
Okay. Can I see that one more time again?
Sure. So from the front, it's going to look like this. So I'm in my plank,
Okay.
hold, tap, hold, tap.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
It was probably too easy before then.
Yeah.
All right. So last thing is going to be that bridge or elbow up. All right. So for the bridge, we have our standard double leg bridge. Lie on your back with your feet flat on the ground. Pick your hips up off the ground. Hold 1, 2, and then back down. Up, hold 1, 2, back down. To make this more challenging, you can make this into a single leg bridge. Up and alternate the working leg. And then to make that even harder, you can take your weights, you can put it on your hips. Doing alternating weighted single leg bridges. Just like so. Make sure you get good height out of your hips. Don't slack on these. Make sure you get as high off the ground as possible. For our seated athletes who are on the ground, we're going to be doing elbow ups. So from here, you're going to be doing a little curl, pushing through your elbows into the ground. Hold 1, 2, back down. Make sure your head stays back. Don't let your head pop forward. No turtlenecking today. And back down. Up 1, 2, and back down. To make this a little bit more challenging, you can add an alternating reach to it. Coming up, reach, and back down. Up, alternate the reach, and back down. As you do your elbow ups. Just like so. And if you're still in the chair, what we're going to do with the elbow ups is I'm going to have you sit, shift your weight so you're a little bit more forward in the chair. You're going to lean back. So you're going to be in this little slouch position to start. And what I want you to do is to think about squeezing your elbows together. And that's going to help engage the muscles between your shoulder blades But you really gotta think about trying to touch your elbows together as best as possible. And then hold 1, 2. And if you're super beastly, you add in that overhead reach, but still make sure that elbow is moving towards your spine as best as possible. All right? Practice your bridge and elbow up variations. All right. Has everyone found their bridge or elbow up variation? Any questions? I see a question. Yeah. Pavel.
Is it for us to keep both our legs on the ground with the backpack?
If you're using the backpack, you can do a double leg bridge. Yeah. That's fine as well.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Any other questions? All right. Let's get started, everybody. Round 1's coming up. Get in position for your side plus curtsy lunge or your shoulder to shoulder press. All right. Let's get started. Find your weights. Get in position. And let me pull up my timer. Stopwatch is on. Ready. Let's start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go. Stepping to the side and then curtsy. Stay on one side. We're going to do 30 seconds going one direction and then switching. If you're doing the shoulder to shoulder presses, you're just going to go for 1 minute continuously here. Good. Give yourself that little bit of hand support if you need. Try to keep your chest up during the lunges here. Good. Good. Keep it going. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch side. If you're doing the shoulder shoulder presses, you're still moving here. Let me find my chair so I don't fall down. Shoulder to shoulder. Just don't drop the weight on your head. Keep it going. Keep alternating. Going from side lunge to curtsy lunge. Try to get some good depth in those lunges if you can. There you go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Transition over to your side plank variation. So whichever side plank variation works best for you, that's what I want you working on. We're going to go for 30 seconds, starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go. Good. Focus on your breathing. Keep that focus. Whichever variation you chose, remember, you can play around with some variations here. You could potentially put yourself on an incline here, which would take a little bit of load off your shoulder, make it a little bit easier on your abdominals. Good, keep breathing, keep going. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch sides. Good. All right, and get on up. Keep breathing. Work on controlling that breath. Try to think about taking the biggest inhale as you can. Big inhale. As you're doing these side planks. Keep breathing, keep going. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Done. All right, we're going to transition over to our front and back lunges or the single arm rows for seated. So get in position and let's get started. Lunge back and forth. Keep a nice consistent movement. Use that hand support if you need. Work on getting some good depth too and control of the movement. If your movement's herky-jerky, you might want to add a little bit of hand support to control that. Good. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch sides. See your athletes. Oh, I keep doing this and standing. See your athletes are doing your rows. Just like so. Get those muscles of your upper back engaged. Good. Keep breathing. Keep going. Good. Keep it up. Almost there. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Done. All right. Let's transition over to side planks. All right. So whichever variation is going to work, or sorry, it's not side planks, front planks. Front planks, whichever variation is going to work for you. So if you're up on an elevated surface, this is fine. And then add those shoulder taps. Let's go. Tapping each side. Make sure you stay as stable as possible. No herky-jerkiness here. Work on complete control of that movement. Good. Keep going. Keep breathing. Whichever variation you're working on. If you're in a chair, trying to reach out as far as you can, challenging your balance. Good. Going back and forth. And maybe taking just a fingertip, putting it on the table, trying to decrease the amount of pressure that you're using with your arms to support yourself, forcing your abdominals to work. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Done. All right. Transition over to the bridge or the elbow up. All right. If you're still in the chair, we're working on scooting forward in the chair, leaning back, and then squeeze your elbows together, and then let them go. Squeeze your elbows together, and then maybe add a little overhead reach. You're in the chair, but keep that same squeeze that you're doing with your stance arm. All right? It'll look the same. If you're on the ground doing elbow ups, elbow up, oh, reach, and back down. Elbow up, oh, reach, and back down. All right? If you're doing bridges, double or single leg variations. Make sure you're alternating if you're doing singles. Keep it going, keep breathing. Good. Almost there, you guys. Keep going. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Done. All right, take a breath. All right, grab a little water. All right. How are people doing?
Good.
Good, all right. How were those transitions? Did anyone need more time for certain transitions?
Yes.
Yeah, which ones?
Oh, me? I mean, just getting down to the floor after the front plank and tap, because I have to modify that one.
Okay.
So
All right.
getting back down.
All right. I'll give you a little bit more time for that one, that transition.
Okay.
All right. Good. Everyone else is good? Ready to rock and roll for round 2? All right. Let's get in position.
Yeah.
So, side and curtsy lunges, standing athletes, shoulder to shoulder presses for seated athletes. Oops. I hit the wrong button. All right. Let's get started in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. All right. Keep it going. You're doing your shoulder to shoulder presses. Make sure you keep your torso as vertical as possible. So try to avoid slouching or hyper extending in your back. Try to keep yourself as tall as possible during these presses. Keep alternating, all right? For our lateral lungers, keep going side lunge to curtsy, side lunge to curtsy. Add a little bit of weight if you need to challenge yourself a little bit more. Good. Keep going. Almost there. We got 10 seconds left before we switch. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch sides for our lungers. Keep shoulder pressing if you're doing shoulder presses. But if you need to take a break, you can take a break. Key thing is always quality of movement. I'd rather you move well and not a lot than to move a lot and not move well. Good. Continue with this consistent movement here. Good. Keep that chest up. If you can work the depth, work the depth. Keep it going. Almost there. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Done. Transition to your side plank. All right. Let's get into the position down to the ground. If you're transitioning from chair to the ground or if you're standing to the ground, pick your side plank variation. Oops, I need to make sure I watch my stopwatch. And up in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go. And hold. Whichever variation is working best for you is a variation that is meant for you. Good. Keep that stability, keep breathing. Keep going. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch sides. All right. Keep it going. Keep breathing. Whichever version of the side plank that you're working on. If you're still in the chair, you can be leaning out here, really trying to work on holding yourself upright as best as possible. Bracing through your abdominals, engaging your core. Make sure your chest is pointing straight away from you to the side. You want your shoulders to be lined up perpendicular to the floor. Good, keep breathing. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Let's transition to the front and back lunges and the single arm rows for seated athletes. All right. So if you're going back into the chair, transition back up into the chair. If you're already in the chair, good job. Get rowing. All right. And let's get started. In 3, 2, 1, go. If you're doing the rows, pull that weight to your hip. All the way up. Get that squeeze between your shoulder blades. For our standing athletes, working that front to back lunge. Work the depth too if you can. Good. Add some load if it's too easy. Good. Or add some hand support if you need that. Whatever version of the movement works for you is the version that works for you. Switch sides. Stepping forward and then back. Stepping forward and then back. Switching sides for the rowers as well. Make sure that as you're doing the lunges, you try to get your knees to track straight forward. You can slide your foot back and forth if that's a little bit easier to balance. But if you have good balance, challenge yourself a little bit more. Take your foot off the ground as you're stepping. Good. Keep it going. Keep breathing. You're almost there. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Done. All right. Let's transition over to the front plank. So if you need a little bit of time to transfer from the chair to the floor, now is that time for you. Pick your version of the plank, whichever one's going to work for you. Stacking up a little bit to take the load off and shoulder tap. Make sure you stay stable as you pick up one arm and tap your shoulder. Bring it off the ground. Good. Keep it going. Keep breathing. I change my orientation here. All right. I'm in a full plank. I'm stable. Tap and down. Oh, tap and down. Tap and down. Keep going. Keep breathing. Keep that control. Minimize the twist in your body. Make your abdominals work for you as best as you can. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Done. All right. Push your props to the side. Flip onto your back if you're already on the ground. All right, and let's bridge. Going all the way up. Make sure you get good height out of your hips. And back down. Single leggers. Alternating. Getting that hip. Engaging your glutes and your core. We want to train the butt and the gut. That's what most people are lacking nowadays. That's why the bridges are such a great exercise. Keep going. Keep breathing. Elbow ups for seated athletes. Whoops. Pulled up my credit card. That's not good. All right. Elbow up. Reach if you're a beast. Elbow up. Reach if you got the coordination, the balance for it. But if this is all you got, that's fine too. It'll probably make you sweat just as much. Keep going. Keep breathing. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Done. All right. All righty. How are people doing?
Good.
All right. How was that round for the transitions? Did you have enough time for your transitions? All right. I don't see any complaints. Good. Get a little bit of water, and then we'll get going into round 3. All right. Get that swig. Catch your breath. And then we're going to get started in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stepping to the side, side lunge, to curtsy lunge. Side lunge, to curtsy lunge. Shoulder to shoulder press for our seated athletes. Good. Pressing from one side to the other. And when you're doing these presses, think about you're pressing up and over your head. Try to avoid just side bending your head to the side and doing this minimal press. Think about you're pressing all the way up, shifting the weight, and then lowering it down under control. Your head should stay still the entire time when you're doing these shoulder to shoulder presses. And what that's going to do is it's going to force you to engage your obliques again, to hold yourself more upright. Good. Lungers, switch. All right. Stepping, or oops. Side to curtsy. Side to curtsy. Use that little bit of hand support if you need. Doing your side to curtsy. If that little bit of hand support allows you to go a little bit deeper, that might be a good option for you. Make yourself work through a larger range of motion, but make sure you keep your chest up the entire time. Good. Keep it going. Keep breathing. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Done. Transition over to side planks. All right. If you're coming to the ground, you can use a chair to offload yourself. This might be too easy for some, might be just right for others. Maybe you might go to the full plank in an elevated surface. But if that's still too easy for you, if you're still feeling pretty good, stay on the floor. Just from the knees or full side plank. Keep breathing, keep going. Whew. Make sure you take big inhales and controlled exhales. Big inhales and controlled exhales. 3, 2, 1, switch sides. All right. When we're in this side plank or variation of, think about opening up the rib cage and the diaphragm. Expand your belly on those inhales and then control that exhale. Big breath. Big breath. What this is doing is it's starting to connect your diaphragm to your abdominals better. We're working on patterning those muscle groups together. Keep going. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Done. All right, transition over to the forward and back lunges for standing athletes and single arm rows for seated athletes. All right. Get in position. Finish your transitions and let's go in 3, 2, 1. Pull or lunge. Whoops, I'm gonna hit that chair. Keep going. Keep breathing. Keep leaning forward in the chair. That's going to challenge your core a little bit more. Pull all the way up to your hip. Get that squeeze between your shoulder blades. There you go. Make sure you have a nice controlled breath the entire time. Good. Forward and back lungers. You can slide your foot forward and then come forward. You can slide your foot back and then drop down if you need that little bit of extra support. Otherwise, you can continue with your stepping. Work that depth. Good. Switch sides. Good. If you're seated doing the rows, flip that bag over, flip that weight over, and pull to your hip. Pull all the way up to your hip. Get that solid squeeze. Good. Keep it going. If you were doing your lunges, make sure you're stepping forward. Get low. Keep your chest upright as best as you can. Step back up. Be balanced. Step back and step back up. Think about putting all your weight through your foot as you're going through the movement here. Keep that focus. Good. Keep it going. Almost there. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Done. Transition over to the front plank with the shoulder tap. All right. Whatever variation we're working on, whether that be from the chair, leaning forward, maybe some fingertips on their surface for a little bit more of a balanced challenge, but you really got to focus on making your core do that work as you're shoulder tapping. Let's go. Good. Whatever version you're working on is fair game. You could be on a chair doing your shoulder taps this way. It'll be a little bit easier than doing them from the ground, but make sure you're still working that control. Your torso should have minimal shift as you transition from one arm to the other. Good. Keep it going. Keep breathing though. Do not hold your breath. Make sure you have that steady inhale, exhale. Good. Keep it going. Keep breathing. 10 seconds left. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, done. All right, transition to the bridge or the elbow up. Good. And let's go. Elbow up. Reach if you still have that in you. Elbow up. Reach. Or standard elbow ups. Keep your chin back though if you're doing elbow ups. Remember, avoid turtlenecking. Don't let your head pop forward. Keep it back. If you're doing your bridges, work on maintaining or getting up to good height with your hips. Hold for a 1, 2, and then back down. Make sure you control that movement. We were talking about getting that breath in as well, right? When you're at the top of the bridge, big inhale, and then let it go as you come down. Big inhale, and back down. Continue on with that movement. If you're doing single legs, make sure you're alternating. Keep it going. Keep breathing. You're doing great. Alternate if you're doing the single leg bridges. Good. Keep going. Make those glutes and those abdominals work for you. Coordinate them with your diaphragm. Take a solid inhale and then exhale down. Big inhale and exhale back down. Keep going. Keep breathing. You got 10 seconds left. Keep it going. Home stretch here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Done. All righty. Woo. Solid. All right. You all still alive?
Yeah.
I see some people who look like they're collapsed on the ground. I hope you can get up. So let's get ready for round 4. Get a little bit of water, catch your breath. But we're definitely gonna do a 4th round today. Ian, I'm sorry we won't get to round 5.
No worries. I'm not even worried about it today.
Oh, you're being so modest. Okay.
I'm too tired. I already had 2 meetings today, so I'm too tired.
All right. Catch your breath, get your water, get in position. We're gonna get started in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Side lunge to curtsy lunge. Side lunge to curtsy lunge. Good. Keep up that steady rhythm. Keep breathing. Keep your chest upright as you're working here. See athletes, make sure you keep your chest upright. My books are going all over the place. And I'm pressing up over your head. Make sure your head stays in that neutral position. So you're moving the bag around your head. Press straight up, around, and back down. Work that asymmetrical press. Alternating. Good. Lungers, switch sides. All right. Step into the side and curtsy. Keep your chest upright as best as you can. Side, curtsy. Make sure that if your form is starting to go downhill, if you're doing really great with the bag before, but now you're starting to do some of this, maybe it might be time to lighten the load if you can't correct it. So I really want you guys to keep that chest upright. This will keep your spine straight. Drop that load if you need. As long as you can keep that chest upright. Maybe add a little hand support so you can still work that depth. Good. Keep going. Keep breathing. Almost there, you guys. Keep going. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Done. Transition over to that side plank. All right. Transition to the ground if you're gonna do these on the ground, or to your chair variation, whether that be using the chair as your prop or sitting in the chair, whoops, with your arm out to the side. Work on holding yourself upright as best you can, challenging that base of support. See how far you can reach and still hold yourself up. Good. Keep breathing. Big inhales. And then exhale. Big inhale. And then exhale. Keep going. Make sure you get some good expansion out of your belly too. It shouldn't all come from your chest. Good, and switch sides. Now, for some people, you might still be doing predominantly chest breathing, but I want you to do as much belly breathing as you have accessible to you. Whoops, yeah, drop my phone on the floor. Working those side planks. Big inhale, and then exhale. Try to make as much of that inhale come from your belly. And then exhale. Keep going. Keep breathing, whichever version you're on. Good. 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Done. All right. Let's transition to that forward and back lunge and the single arm rows for seated athletes. Let's go. Transition time. All right, let's get started. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. If seated athletes, pulling that weight all the way up to your hip, keep that squeeze, keep your chest up, keep leaning forward though, to challenge your core. Lungers, stepping forward and back. Good, keep it going. Remember, if you're feeling a little bit funky with your movements, you can regress it just a little bit. Maybe add that slide, maybe add some hand support. Work the variation that's going to allow you to still get a good amount of range of motion and to get good feeling lunges out of each rep. Good. Keep going. Keep breathing. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch sides. Stepping back, go forward, and then back. Whichever version is working for you, that's the one I want you doing. Good. If you're doing your rows, same thing here. Keep that chest puffed out. Keep your torso leaning forward. Flat back. Good. Continue with that consistent, clean movement. Almost there, you guys. Keep that squeeze. Keep working those lunges. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Done. We'll transition over to that front plank with the shoulder tap. Good. If you're starting to get really tired, you can take an even more elevated surface and then do shoulder taps from here. That is perfectly okay. You could even go against the wall if you're really struggling. But whatever variation's working for you, that's the one I want you working on. Working your shoulder taps. Maybe you got knees on the ground, stabilizing yourself. Maybe you're still in your full plank variation. Good, keep it going. Keep breathing. And if we got anyone who's still in the chair doing these, make sure that you're reaching as far as you can with pushing the edge of your base of support, and then work that reach, challenge your balance, your core. Good. Almost there, you guys. Whew. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Done. Last exercise here, bridges and elbow ups. All right, if you're still in the chair, leaning back, and then squeeze your elbows together to prop yourself up, and then back down. Squeeze your elbows together to puff the chest up. Oop, I'm tired. Keep going. All right, keep working those bridge variations. Single leggers, you guys are doing great. Double leggers, so are you. Elbow uppers, that's also great. Just make sure you don't poke your chin forward. Keep your chin back, especially when you're tired. Get that pause at the top. 1, 2, and back down. Come up to the top, take a big inhale, and then exhale. Come up to the top, big inhale, and then exhale. Keep it going. Work that breathing. Work on trying to coordinate your diaphragm with your movement, with that core engagement. Almost there, people. Home stretch. Good. 15 seconds left. Keep going. Keep moving. Good. 10 seconds. Home stretch. Come on. Almost there. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Done. All right. You've all survived, I hope. Let's unmute you guys. All right. Good. I see some tired looking but smiling faces. All right. How are people feeling?
I'm dead.